Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I got another manga book here to review for you guys. This is volume 2 of the Incurable Case of Love. So we're going to look back here. It's by Viz Media. It is rated M for mature. Don't necessarily agree with the rating. I think it should be older teen, but it is what it is. Alright, we'll take a look at a little excerpt here. So Nancy became a nurse to chase after Dr. Kari Tindu. Unfortunately, now she must deal with his tyranny. He kisses her and calls it a medical treatment. He's good at his job, but he's a despicable man. Despite this, Nancy does something unexpected to the Dark Lord. So with that, guys, there's going to be spoilers involved with this review. So if you don't want to get spoiled, feel free to watch this video at a later time. But with that, we're going to go ahead and dive right into it. One thing that I want to say right off the bat is all mangas should do this. Nice little recap of volume 1 along with all the main characters here, trying to, if you haven't read from volume to volume in a decent amount of time like this one, I think it's been like a month or two since I've looked at volume 1, having this story recap, such a great idea, and I wish all manga books would do this, so that way it'll just give you a nice little excerpt of what happened from the previous volume, so that way you can get refreshed on what's going on in the story. So with that, we follow our nurse here, which is Sakura, along with the doctor that she has her heart out for, Dr. Tindu. And let's go ahead and take a look at the particular chapters here. Again, they call their chapters love, which again I do kind of like the take on, instead of saying chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, that they got their own unique style and taste when it comes to the chapter names. But yeah, it's pretty darn interesting. Alright, so with that, we got I don't mind one-sided love. I have enough love for two people, and it's that simple. First time you hold hands with the one you love is the happiest moment love can give, right? Loving someone who doesn't love you back is painful indeed. 'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. I wonder about that. And to love is to suffer, that's true, but I can't help myself. So one thing reading this book, the best type of genre that I can describe it is, excuse me, is it's more of a love comedy when it comes to this. There's a lot of little things in life that kind of continue to push themselves to becoming a couple, a formal couple, but we'll kind of go through that. So one thing is that we got this going away party. There's a doctor within the hospital that's going away, and Sakura ends up going to the party, and with Dr. Tindu, being the person that he is, wants to protect her because last time, she drank a lot. She basically needed that helping hand, essentially, to get back home. And long and behold, we got the same story. She drinks too much, and Dr. Tindu has to carry her back to her place. So again, it's all about the love, which is, it's a comedy love. That's the best way I can describe it. And then kind of the next thing that life throws at them is Dr. Tindu gets sick, and so now our Dark Lord, essentially, he's not as evil as they portray it, because even the Dark Lord himself can get sick. And so Sakura has to basically nurse him back to health. And again, it's all about life throwing curveballs to try to get these two together. It's really interesting. There's definitely events that try to push them to be together. So it's kind of interesting. And then kind of the next thing that happens is that there was an old friend of Dr. Tindu. Not necessarily a friend, I must say, but kind of a person that gets on his nerve because they both went through the same schooling together to become a doctor. And so this was Dr. Kinzuki. And so you can see Kinzuki try to hit on our nurse here, tries to help her become a better nurse by trying to give blood and so forth. And, Dr. Tindu being a guy, and I'm glad they portray this, he gets super jealous. You don't necessarily see it, but the way he acts, he gets all dark and very, very protective of Sakura, which was kind of cute in my opinion. It's nice to see that, if you really have feelings for another person, that you're going to try to court her, essentially. And so we definitely see that. Dr. Tenu tries to do some courtship with Shakira, basically gives her a hickey, which I found freaking hilarious. I just hope they don't go too much into that little realm. I don't want to be reading a manga about 50 Shades of Grey bad, but I hope they don't go too deep in that. And it doesn't, the rest of the story doesn't feel like it's going to go down that path, but it's going to be interesting. So after that, it became clear that Dr. Tendo was telling his former colleague friend of his that stay off of her and so forth, and kind of courtships Sakura, and so that little drama kind of fades away. Near the end was a little bit more interesting because we have a former patient back in volume 1 that started to stalk our nurse Shakira here. And so when she realized she's kind of being stalked, the landlord, which is basically the sister of our Dr. Tindu, basically said, "Oh, you should have someone with you. You can stay at my place," and so forth. And then when Dr. Tindu actually finds out about this, he kind of moves in with Shakira on a temporary basis just to make sure everyone is okay, or that she's okay. Again, giving us the impression that he really does care for Shakira, which is cute. It's nice to see the courtship. It's nice to have that man role again. I like this manga because we start to see, how normal people react when it comes to love. Yeah, Dr. Tenu is a little bit of an asshole in this, but when it comes to the storytelling, it is nice to see that, especially in the courtship. The courtship was beautiful to see when Tendo definitely is trying to protect Sakura. And then they go out for a winter outing, which is nice because it was pretty much, I guess the best way to describe it is that this is their the first informal date. They're still kind of in the friend zone, but they're trying to go to the next step and trying to be less conceited about it and not obvious about it. But it was just nice to see because it was set kind of in the winter time frame, Christmas time, New Year's time frame. And I really enjoyed that. In fact, I'll try to show you kind of the depiction of that a little bit. And it was just a nice scene. Yeah, this one right here was probably the best panel of the book right here. And, you can see our Dr. Tinu and our nurse Shakira just enjoying the festivals that are going around. And again, I would assume this is near Christmas time because you kind of have a little Christmas tree with lights and everything. But it really brought the warmth of these two characters together, and it was just beautiful to see. So they do the winter outing, and then there was another individual that continues to follow Shakira, and that's kind of where volume 2 ends. So with that overall, the best I can say, like I said, this is a romantic comedy. There are some good funny elements. There are some serious elements to this. There's underlining meaning of, you have this individual that is really a hard-nosed individual, but then you have this sweet character that comes along and falls in love with this person. It also kind of reminds me a little bit of Beauty and the Beast. You've got the Beast that's all introverted, angry at life, and just does the job, whereas you see the nurse here that sees the true feelings of this person. And so that's kind of what this manga kind of reminds me of. So if you're into romantic comedy of something similar to Beauty and the Beast, and this is definitely for you. I'm enjoying it because it's just something different. I think it's storytelling when it comes to the development of a relationship and love and all that. It's just different, and I like it. So with that, guys, that is it for volume 2 of the Incurable Case of Love. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.